Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we have this 2020 Ford Expedition Max, and we're going to do the Grille Chrome Delete installation for this vehicle. So this is how it looks before the installation. It's just a regular default chrome grille, and this is how it looks after the installation. So the material color that we use is the gloss black material. That way we black out the grille and it matches the look of the vehicle. If you like the product, link for the product will be down in the description below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So before we start with the installation, we want to make sure we clean the grille. We want to remove any contaminants that the grille might have. Whatever cleaning product it is that you're using, for example right now I'm using slip solution, just spray it onto your microfiber towel, go all around and clean off all the contaminations, and make sure once you're done that the panel that we're working on is dry. So the way we have this design is basically the top portion of the grille, all the pieces will be this, and then you just work your way on installing the rest. So this would be the top piece where the hood is at, this would be the middle section, this would be the top piece for the next piece, this was where the emblem's at, the small pieces for where the emblem's at, same design, and then the remaining pieces. You could start from the top and make your way to the bottom. So first we're going to install with this piece first. Okay, so for this installation we're going to start off from one end, so just align it right on the edge here, and then you just work your way in installing the rest of it. Since it is a flat surface, this one should be easy. Just use the top piece as a guide on where you're going to align it, and then after that everything should just fall into place. So just use the top of the grille as your guide. And the excess material that you have here, you would just trim it off. So tack everything down first. That excess material that we have towards the end, just trim it off. Now we move on with the piece that was underneath this one. Okay, so same step. Once this is tacked down, align this one to the edge, and some of the material might underneath the chrome here, so that's fine. Just make sure you're aligning this section. And then right here towards the end, you are going to have excess material. Same steps that we did on this end, just trim it off after we tack everything down. And with this one, we're just gonna help it tack down with heat on some certain edges, like for example here and here. But with the rest here, just help it curve down underneath the chrome. So right here, we're gonna use heat to help it tack down on this curve. Okay, and now once this is sealed, we will move on to the other piece that was underneath the one we just got. So that piece will be for this top layer here. Okay, so align it from one end, make sure you're covering the chrome. And then with this one, keep in mind, it's not going to cover what's inside here. It's only going to cover the outside piece of the grille. Tack it down. And it's going to look like this. So like I said, it's not going to cover the inside here. It's only going to cover the top layer here. Now that we placed it, now we're going to tack it down with our squeegee. So wherever you can tuck in, if you need to, just tuck in. And make sure the film is tacked down. And then excess material, trim off. Make sure this is all sealed before we move on. Once this is all good, now we go ahead and install the next piece that has the curve of the emblem. So with the piece that has the curve of the emblem, start off from right in the middle. That way you match the alignment of the emblem. Leave it in place, align it right in the middle. Once you have this section tacked down, you work your way to one end. After this one, you do the same to the other side. Okay, and then once you're done, make sure you tack it down. And then towards the bottom here, we're just going to apply heat to help the adhesive tack down to the curve underneath the chrome. Once we finish here, we move on to the section where the curve of the grille is at and installing the two middle pieces here. Okay, so for this one, align it right on the edge here, tack it down. If you need to adjust it, you can while tacking it down, but make sure you're covering the chrome, so roughly around there, and then work your way to the bottom. And right here, we're just going to help the film tack down to this deep curve here. So apply heat, and then with your finger or your squeegee, just go section by section until it tacks down. Okay, now we can move on with installing the top piece here and the middle section here, and then the top piece here, and then again here. So for the next piece, like I said, it's the top layer. So just align it right to the edge, and then it's only going to cover the front piece here, not the inside. So align it and then tack it down. And any excess material that we have, you can either tuck in with heat or trim off if it's too much. And I'll just apply heat to secure the edge right here. Okay, now we move on to installing the middle section here. So just align it right on the edge, give yourself enough room to cover the chrome, and then just align it and tack it down. Okay, and now for the bottom section, we're just going to apply heat to help it tack down to the curve underneath the chrome. Okay, now we move on to this section here. So for this one, I'd suggest you start right on this edge first. Try to align it right on the edge. So leave this tack down here and align it right on the edge. So it's not gonna cover everything, but just try to align it as close to it as possible. So it's gonna leave that part exposed. The rest of the film, just tack it down. And then the excess material that we have here, we'll just trim off. So tack this section down. Remove this to tack it down. And then trim off the excess material. And tack down, that should be good. And if you need to apply heat to tack down this section, you can. And now we move on to this section that has the design of the emblem here. Okay, so the same steps that we did for the top layer here, we would do the same here. So align it first in the middle of the emblem. Make sure you have it aligned. And once you have it, you would work your way to one end. So make sure you're giving yourself enough material to cover the chrome. And then the same thing that we do from this end, you would do it to that end. So just make sure you're giving yourself enough material to cover the chrome. And it should be like that. And then we just tack it down. And you would just do the same steps to the other end. Now that we tacked down both sections, it's just applying heat underneath the film and anywhere where there's a curve to seal the film. Okay, and then now we move on to this lower section. Okay, so start from one end, right on the edge, take it down, and then just work your way with the rest. And apply heat on areas that have a curve. And trim off excess material. Okay, now we move on to this last section. So just align it, tack it down. Start off by adding heat on the curved areas. So once you finish installing all of the pieces and you trimmed off all the excess material that you needed to trim off, the last thing to do is just post heat all around. That way we start securing the film onto the panel and also helping the adhesive activate faster. So make sure you just go all around each section, add heat all around on the corners and the curves to seal it off. Okay, so that concludes the installation video for the front grille chrome delete for the 2020 Ford Expedition Max. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed and turn on the notification bell. That way you don't miss any upcoming installation videos. Thank you for watching and we'll see you on the next one.